Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome. And welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about WWE Fastlane 2021. Now, overall, man, this show it was it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't the best show. It wasn't all that good. You know, it just felt like this pay per view. It just felt like the pay per view never should have happened. Because you close to WrestleMania, you want to have a pay per view right in front of WrestleMania, 2 weeks or 3 weeks before WrestleMania, and so like most of these matches on this show, I really didn't care about, man. Like I really didn't care about. Like for most of these matches, you could have put on Raw and SmackDown. Some of the matches, the Biggie and Apollo Crews should have been saved for WrestleMania and stuff. But yeah, you know, the Drew McIntyre and Sheamus match never should have happened either. Because we've seen it time and time and time and again. You know, and it would have been received better, man. It would have been perceived better with the Drew McIntyre and Sheamus match if they didn't have those rematches on Raw. If you would have just had that match at not WrestleMania, if you would have had this match at Fastlane for only once, then yeah, it would have been perceived a lot better. The match was good and everything, but it just I didn't care about it because we seen it again. We seen it before. But yeah, I love the main event. Roman Reigns, the Daniel Bryan, the Seth Rollins and Nakamura match was good. I liked that match too, but everything else, man, I did not like, man. You know, the Big E and Apollo match I did like. Like the beginning of it I did like, but I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the ending of it, but I'm gonna get into it when I get through the show. And so yeah, this is the WWE Fastlane 2021 review on D Ryan Awesome Show. And if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell for all notifications so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out. Because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. And yesterday, this video will be coming out late because last night, I did a live stream. We was live for Fastlane. I was with Rated R for Wrestling, and we had another guest. Her name was Ella J. So make sure you guys, subscribe to Rated R for Wrestling, and make sure you follow Ella J on Twitter. I'm gonna put her link in the description for her Twitter page, and I'm gonna put Rated R for Wrestling's YouTube channel in the link below. And yeah, so it was fun though. The podcasting, it was fun. It was great to see another person, have another person on the show. Ella J, she does her own thing. She has a podcast of her own, and she also does work with Mickey James on their podcast. I believe it's the GAW or the Godcast. And so yeah, it's a podcast that she does with Mickey James. And so yeah, it was great having her on the show too, man. And so yeah, to start off the show, it was the pre-show. I didn't watch the pre-show. I didn't have time to watch the pre-show because with the pre-show, man, it's not important. To me, it wasn't important. So that's why I normally don't watch the pre-shows. So so we had Mustafa Ali versus Matt Riddle for the United States Championship. So it was Ali, the challenger, versus Matt Riddle, the champion. And so yeah, I only caught the end of it. We had Matt Riddle, he hit his bro Derek on the second rope to Ali to win the match. And that was it. So Matt Riddle, he wins the match and is still the United States champion. And right after the match, we had Ali. He was arguing with the rest of his members of Retribution, T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack, and Reckoning. And so Reckoning, aka Mia Yim, she stepped out of line. And so Ali, he was telling Reckoning, "Hey, step back in the line. Step back in the line." And so Reckoning, she didn't want to. So she just walked away. She walked away, and then Slapjack, he had followed her. Like Ali, he was like, "Slapjack, where you going? Get back in line." And so he just left too. And so Ali, he was arguing with Mace and T-Bar, getting in their face. And then, Mace and T-Bar, they choke slam. They gave a choke slam to Ali. And that was it. That was it. That was the end of Retribution. So Yes, I was like, thank God. I said that on last night. I was like, thank God that this stable is over, man, because they every situation that they've been in, man, with Retribution, they lost. They lost time and time and time and time and time again. They lost to the Hurt Business. They like it's like every single match that they've been a part of, they lost. And so that's not how you build up a stable. Like when you're building up a stable, shouldn't that stable win? Shouldn't the members win? So that's why I was like, man, I was like, yes, the stable is over. And it sucks for Ali, man. It sucks for Ali. Ali, he tried to make it work, man, and everything, tried to make the stable work. But it didn't. It did not work at the end because nobody cared about Retribution. Nobody cared about it. And so yeah, that was it with that. That was it with the match. Why was this match on a pre-show? I don't know. I don't know why this match was on a pre-show. You could have put another match on a pre-show. You could have had the Shane McMahon stuff on a pre-show, but no, they want to put the United States Championship on a pre-show. I didn't like that, man. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, we had another match. It was for the women's tag team championships, and it was Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, the SmackDown Women's Champion, versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, who are the women's tag team champions, with Reginald in their corner. And I said this last night on the live stream. This match never should have happened. Never should have happened because they're not feuding. They're not feuding over the tag team titles. They're not feuding over the tag team titles. They're feuding over the SmackDown Women's Championship. Over the SmackDown Women's Championship. And I said this on my NXT review. On my NXT review, I did not like the fact that Finn Balor and Karrion Kross, they were feuding over the NXT tag team titles when you're feuding over the NXT Championship, the most important championship. And they want to fight in a tag team. And you knew how that ended. That didn't end it well. That did not end it well. So with this match, I didn't care about it, man. I did not care about it. And so yeah, with this match, you know, the heels, they took control of the match. We had a hot tag to Sasha Banks. She took out Jaxon Baszler. We had at one point Bianca Belair. She had a 450 splash on Baszler. And then after that we had Reginald. He distracted Bianca Belair, and then Sasha Banks had got on the top. She was trying to take out Reginald with a Meteora, and then she had missed it, so Reginald had rolled out the way. And then Reginald, he had got right back up on the ring apron, and so Bianca Belair ended up taking him out. And so, yeah, so Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, she had locked in the bank statement to Baszler. And then Jax, Bianca Belair, she tried to stop Jax from breaking up the submission, but instead we had Jax, she had pushed Bianca Belair into Sasha Banks, breaking up the submission move. And so, you know, they were arguing. Banks and Belair was arguing. Banks thought that Bianca Belair did it purposely, breaking up the submission move purposely. And so Bianca Belair was trying to explain to her, no, I was trying to help you out. And so yeah, they were going back and forth arguing and stuff like that. And then Sasha Banks, she got rolled up by Shayna Baszler for the 1-2-3, and that was it. Match never should have happened. You had the SmackDown Women's Champion lose. It got pinned. Was this our second time getting pinned by the tag team champions? I believe in Elimination Chamber. Did she get pinned by Nia Jax? Didn't she get pinned by Nia Jax? Yeah, she did. And then now she got pinned. She got pinned by Shayna Baszler, the other half. And like I said this again on a live stream. I didn't like this. This match never should have happened. I didn't like the fact that Sasha Banks got pinned. You knew they weren't gonna win, but like you knew they weren't gonna win. Like if they wasn't gonna win, then why did you book the match, man? Why did you book it? And so like when a champion lose, man, when a champion lose, that champion, the person that's holding the championship and the championship, it lose value, it lose prestige. Now, the only time a champion should lose is if it's in a championship match. That's the only time a champion should lose. Not in a non-title match. Not. And then, after the match, we had Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. They were arguing again. And, they were getting all in each other's face. And then Sasha, she ended up slapping a taste out of Bianca Belair's mouth. And that was it, man. And then Bianca Belair, she was stunned and stuff. And she was, talking to herself. And she was pointing at she was talking to the WrestleMania signs. Like, okay, I got you. I got you. And that was it, man. That was it. Now they want to build up this beef. They like throughout this feud, man, they've been all buddy and everything, all buddy. And now they wanna build up this feud. Like, dude, you should have built up the feud the first week. But no, they prolonged everything. They prolonged everything, man. And so yeah, right after that, we had a backstage segment. It was Shane McMahon, Elias, and Jaxon Ryker. And Shane McMahon, he got hurt while he was training. His knee was hurting, and so yeah, they were backstage with Elias and Jaxon Ryker. And Elias, he wanted to perform tonight. He was telling Shane McMahon he wanted to perform tonight and stuff like that. And so yeah, Shane McMahon, he said, I got something for you. I got something for you. And so that was it. That was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had the Intercontinental Championship match. It was Apollo Crews versus Big E. Apollo Crews, the challenger, and Big E, the Intercontinental Champion. And so yeah, with this match, man, I did like the beginning of it. The back and forth and stuff like that, and the trash talking that both of these guys did to each other. I did like that part, but I did not like the ending of this match. Did not like the ending of this match. We had Big E. He had hit a spear. He had hit a spear when Apollo Crews was on the ring apron. Big E, he had ran in the ring and hit a spear on Apollo Crews, knocking him outside the ring. And then Big E hit a splash on Crews on the ring apron, and then he hit another one. And so he was talking trash to Crews, and he had a belly-to-belly suplex to Crews 2 times. And then E again was talking trash. And then Crews, took control of the match by targeting his leg, and he hit 3 German suplexes, hit a spine buster on Big E. And Crews, he started talking trash. And then Crews, he had a frog splash. Very impressive, man. Apollo Crews is not a small dude. He may be short and everything. Not that short, but he's a really big dude. So yeah, it was really impressive seeing him hit that frog splash. Great athlete, man. And he hit a insecurity kick to Big E. And he tried to hit a standing moonsault, but Big E, he blocked it with his knees. And then, they were reversing each other's finishing move. And then at one point, we had this double pinfall. Like, it looked like Cruz's shoulders was on the mat, and then Big E's shoulder was on the mat. And so the referee was counting to 5. And so, like, the referee was counting to 5, like 1, 2. And then, like, they kept going back and forth with pinfalls, 1, 2. Like, the referee ended up counting to 5. And so that sucked, man. And so they rewarded They rewarded the win to Big E. So Big E wins and is still the Intercontinental Champion. And that was it. Did not like the ending of this match. Now, with them booking the match on a pay-per-view, I was like, you know what? Like, this match never should have been on a pay-per-view. But I see why they put it on a pay-per-view. They try to, with this, I was like, when they had it on Fastlane, I was like, it's going to be a screwy finish. It's going to be a screwy finish. And then when that happens, Crews is going to get another shot. Crews is going to say, I've been screwed over. I deserve another shot. And so it's going to be safe for WrestleMania. So that's why I think they put it on Fastlane. But I never would have put it on Fastlane. I would have just saved it. I would have just saved it, man, for WrestleMania. Or, one of them, I think it was either Ella or Rated R for Wrestling. They said that, Apollo Crews, he could have fought somebody. He could have fought somebody else. He should have fought somebody else instead of fighting Big E. So that's another great point, man. He could have done that too. But Apollo Crews and Big E never should have happened on this show. But now with Apollo Crews, man, I love the new gimmick and everything. The Nigerian, he got the accent and stuff. He got new ring gear. He got the spear. I love it, man. I love it because, he has character now. He has character. Something that he never had, years ago. He didn't even have character in NXT, man. This is one guy that got called up too quickly. He didn't have no character development and stuff. He was buried for years. Never even gotten the opportunity with nothing. Never gotten the opportunity. But when Paul Heyman was in charge, man, of Raw that one time, Apollo Crews, he was starting to get pushed. But when Paul Heyman got released, fired from his, position and stuff like that, then that's when Apollo Crews got buried. But now, man, Apollo Crews is on SmackDown. And Paul Heyman, he has a hand in, some of the SmackDown stuff, with Roman Reigns. And I'm guessing Apollo Crews. Because, Vince McMahon and all these other people that's in the back, they don't care about Apollo Crews. And so, man, but Apollo Crews, man, I'm loving it, man. I'm glad that he got an opportunity, man. He has character now. I love the accent, too, man. The Nigerian accent, I love it. But, yeah, with this match, didn't like the ending of the match, but I did like the beginning of it. It was intense. It was great back and forth and all that stuff, man. I love it. But did not like the ending of it. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Shane McMahon, Jackson, Ryker, and Elias. They came out to the ring. And then, Shane McMahon, he had told Elias, hey, you'll be taking my spot. You wanted to compete tonight? You'll be taking my spot in a match with Braun Strowman. And so Braun Strowman, he had came out. This wasn't what Elias was asking for. He wanted a performance, but Shane was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a match with Braun Strowman. You're gonna be taking my spot. And so it was Elias versus Braun Strowman. Did not care about this match. This match should have been on the pre-show. You should have just replaced this match with the U.S. title match. This wasn't a pay-per-view match, man. It wasn't. I didn't care about this match. Didn't care about this match a lot. Braun Strowman, he won the match. He won the match with a running power slam, and that was it. I did not care about it. I didn't even take notes in this match. That's how little I care about this match. And so backstage, we had Matt Riddle, the United States champion, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura, he was getting ready for his match next. Yeah, it was next. And so, yeah, Riddle, he was talking to Nakamura. He was talking his ear off for business ideas and stuff like that. Because Matt Riddle, he had ideas for business ideas. And so, yeah, he was talking and talking and talking. And then the camera had zoomed into Riddle's face. And so the camera had zoomed back out. And Nakamura, he was gone. He was gone. And so Riddle, he was like, hey, Nakamura, where did you go? And so Riddle, he had walked away. And then Nakamura, he had popped back up. He was hiding behind something, and so he popped back up right after Riddle had left. And so that was it, man. But Riddle, man, it's just, he just cringe, man. It's like the way that he comes off now is cringe. And I said this last night too. You know, it was cringe. The promo was cringe from Matt Riddle. It's like it's like they treating him like a joke, man. It's like they laughing at him and not with him because, like Riddle, he was never this cringe in NXT. You would have never heard Riddle say something like this. Never. Like when he came off of NXT, people laughed. People laughed at it, but man, it's not, dude. The scooter, really, man. It's not funny. But the one thing that was funny about it was when Shinsuke Nakamura he left. That's the one thing I laughed at. Nakamura, if I was Nakamura, I would have done the same thing. I would have walked away from this guy. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after this, we had Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which was one of the best matches on the show. You know, all these other matches before this match were garbage, but this match right here picked up everything, man. And I think that's what Ella had picked up. This is what she said, and I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. This match did pick up everything, and so yeah. Seth Rollins, he came out first. I don't know why they got rid of his Messiah theme music. I don't know why they got rid of it. I would have kept the theme music, the Messiah theme music, but they went back to his old theme music. The old theme music doesn't fit him anymore. I was digging the Messiah gimmick. I was digging the Messiah theme song, but they got rid of it, man. Don't know why. And so yeah, it was great back and forth with these two. And then yeah, we had a knee lifts to Rollins, followed up by a knee drop. And then, we had a knee strike to Nakamura to knock him off the ring apron. A gut buster to Nakamura, he kicked out. And then Nakamura, he was locking in submission moves, arm bars and stuff. And Rollins, he was grabbing the ropes. And then we had a sliding drop kick to Rollins. And then we had a knee to the back of Rollins' head on the ring apron from Nakamura. And then we had a series of kicks to Rollins. And then Rollins, he had knocked Shinsuke Nakamura off the top rope because Nakamura, he was going for a high flying move. And then Seth Rollins hit a tope suicida to Nakamura. And then he followed it up with a springboard knee strike to Nakamura. And then they were fighting on the outside of the ring. No, this is before they was fighting outside the ring. We had a sling blade to Nakamura. He had kicked out. And then, they were going back and forth with strikes. And we had a slotted German suplex to Rollins while he was on the rope. And then Nakamura, he tried to go for his Kinshasa, but he missed. And then Rollins, he had hit his buckle bomb to Nakamura. And he followed it up with a Falcon's Arrow. And then Nakamura kicked out of it. And then Rollins, he tried to go for the curb stomp. And, Nakamura, he had reversed it and turned it into his landslide, not submission move, his signature move. And then Nakamura, he had a reverse exploded to Rollins. And so at that point, they were reversing each other finishing moves. And then, Yeah, and then at one point, this was cool. Yeah, Rollins, he had kicked Rollins, he had kicked Nakamura in the back of the head. It's like he was going for something. It looked like he almost lost his footing, but he ended up bouncing off of Nakamura's back and then kicked him in the back of the head. So that was a unique move from Rollins. And then we had a curb stomp to Nakamura to win the match. So Seth Rollins, he won the match, and that was it. Great match, man. And so yeah, right after that, we had a video package of Rhea Ripley. She's coming to Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Well, today, I'm guessing. Yeah, today. I'm recording this today. So on Monday Night Raw on Monday, and so yeah, Rhea Ripley is gonna be on Raw. And so yeah, right after that, we had Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. And even though this match was good and everything, I did not care about it. I did not care about it. This match. Never should have happened. Never should have happened. Because we seen it. We seen it over and over and over again, man. But yeah, but McIntyre, he had came out. He was wearing the blue and white face paint representing Scotland. And then yeah, it was a no holds barred match. And so yeah, they were beating each other down at a belly to belly suplex to Sheamus, and they were fighting outside the ring. Sheamus was throwing McIntyre into the barricade. We had McIntyre, he had a overhead belly to belly suplex to Sheamus on the floor twice. And then yeah, McIntyre, he was throwing Sheamus into the steel steps. And then Sheamus, he was fighting back. He had a V-trigger knee strike to McIntyre. He kicked out. And then Sheamus, he had grabbed the kendo stick and hit McIntyre with the kendo stick in the back and in the chest. And so, yeah, at one point, we had Sheamus, he had stretched the kendo stick in McIntyre's mouth like a fish hook. And so, yeah, we had McIntyre, he had his Glasgow kiss to Sheamus. And he followed up with a big boot. He had a kendo stick to Sheamus. And, yeah, at one point, McIntyre, he had jammed the kendo stick in Sheamus's eye. And then McIntyre, he, you know, yeah, he tried to hit Sheamus with the kendo stick, but Sheamus, he ended up toe holding him to the steel steps. And then yeah, they were fighting in the crowd. Yeah, they were fighting in the crowd, back and forth with strikes. We had a suplex to McIntyre on a concrete floor, and then we had a rolling senton to McIntyre on the floor where the virtual fans were, right on the floor, right in front of the screens. And so yeah, McIntyre, he threw Sheamus off the stage into the second row. And so yeah, the screens had exploded a little bit. And so yeah, we had an assisted suplex from the crate to Sheamus. And then yeah, Sheamus, McIntyre, he was carrying Sheamus to the ring, and then Sheamus had went out right after the eyes. He had hit a bro kick to McIntyre. And then, he had a white noise on McIntyre off the barricade through the announce table. So that was cool too. You know, and Sheamus, he had grabbed a piece of the announce table at one point. He had brought it in the ring, sat in the middle of the ring, and tried to place Drew McIntyre on it. And so they were going back and forth with moves, trying to hit each other on the announce table piece. And so McIntyre, he ended up hitting his Future Shock DDT to Sheamus on that piece of announce table in the middle of the ring. And so right after that, we had McIntyre, he hit his Claymore kick to Sheamus to win the match, and that was it. So Drew McIntyre, he wins the match, and that was it with it. Yeah, this match never should have happened because it was great. It was a good match and everything, but this match never should have happened. Like, this match never should have happened because McIntyre, he already have a shot at the WWE champion at Bobby Lashley. He already have a shot with Bobby Lashley, and then he was on Raw. He was saying, "Oh, I have to go through Sheamus first to get to Bobby Lashley." Like, no, dude, you already beaten him. You already beaten Sheamus. You deserve to rest. You deserve to rest before your championship match with Bobby Lashley. Not this match with Sheamus. We seen it. Like, or yeah, this could have been like if they didn't have those rematches, man. They didn't have those rematches, man. Then this would have been a match. This could have been easily a number one contenders match. Could have easily been a number one contenders match if they didn't have these matches on Raw, man. Could have easily been a number one contender match. But yeah, that was it. That was it and everything. They beat the hell out of each other. Not gonna take anything away from them, but this match never should have happened on the show. And so yeah, right after this, we had Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss, and it was it really wasn't much of a match, man. It really wasn't much of a match. We had Alexa Bliss. She was running away from Orton and stuff like that. Well, before the match, man, we had Randy Orton. He was doing his pose. He was making his entrance, doing the pose on the top rope. And then out of nowhere, man, the goo. He started throwing up the black goo. So I thought that was really cool right there. And so yeah, he was spitting out the goo and everything. And then yeah, Bliss she had came out. She was wearing like creepy face paint and stuff like that, like white face paint. It made it look like she was sick or infected or something like that. She had the white contact lens and stuff like that. You had her come out with the creepy music and stuff. And so yeah, Orton he tried to go after right after Bliss, and so they had fire. Fire had shot up in Orton's face, and so yeah, and then Orton he tried to run after Bliss, and then Bliss had moved out of the way. He ended up crashing into the ring post, and so yeah, and then at one point, Bliss she was moving away from Orton, and Orton was going after her. He was walking towards her, and so it looked like the lights had came off, the lights had came down. It looked like she used like telekinesis. She used telekinesis to bring the lights down, so the lights had fell down right in front of Orton, almost hit him. And then yeah, so yeah, at that point, Bliss she's playing mind games with him, and then she tried to go for the fire. She tried to use the fireball again, the fireball that she used against Orton, but she missed. I think Orton he tried to sell it, but he didn't. You know, the fireball didn't get him in the face, and so yeah, and so at that point we had an arm. We had an arm had popped out from under the ring, and so I was like, oh man, it's the Fiend. It was the Fiend, and so it grabs Orton's foot. And so Orton, he was kicking at the hand. He was fighting out of it. And so, yeah, and that section of the ring had caught on fire with where the hand was coming out. The fire had shot up. And so, yeah, it was the Fiend. He came back. Fiend, he had a creepy face mask. It was a cool looking face mask, by the way. Cool looking face mask. And he had like camouflage, like a camouflage suit or something like that. It looked like he was making it look like he was burnt alive and stuff like that. And so yeah, Bray Wyatt is back. He has a new look. And so yeah, Bliss she had pushed Orton into Wyatt, and so Wyatt had his sister Abigail on Orton. And so Bliss she had got right on top of Orton, and she was like a saddle. She had sat on him like a saddle, like a horse saddle. And so she had covered him for the 1, 2, 3, and that was it. So Alexa Bliss had won the match, and that was it, man. I was like, man, what was that? It was entertaining. It was fun and everything. Now, what Bray Wyatt? They're gonna have a WrestleMania match, but nobody want to see him in a one-on-one match because we've seen it before. Like nobody want to see him in a wrestling match. That's the thing. Nobody want to see him in a wrestling match. So it might be a cinematic match. It might be a cinematic match with Orton and Wyatt. And so yeah, that was it with that, man. And so yeah, right after that was the main event, which was my match of the night, man. Besides the Rollins and the Nakamura match, this was my favorite match. So yeah, it was for the WWE Universal Championship match, and it was Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, who is the Universal Champion, with Paul Heyman in his corner. And so Edge is the ringside enforcer. Edge he had won his right to become ringside enforcer for Fastlane on SmackDown by beating Jey Uso. And so yeah, in the beginning of the match, we had Daniel Bryan. He was playing mind games with Roman. He was using his wrestling ability against Roman Reigns, his speed against Roman Reigns, and it wasn't working. I mean, well, it was working. When Roman Reigns tried to fight back, it wasn't working. Like Reigns, he tried to use his power, but it was not working. And so yeah, Bryan, he was smiling and everything, saying that I got the one up on you and everything. Like what's wrong? What's wrong, Roman? And so yeah, Reigns he did finally take control of the match. He had a headlock takedown, and then Bryan he ended up fighting right back out of it. Like it's like every move that Roman Reigns had, Bryan he had countered it. And so yeah, Bryan he was targeting Reigns' shoulder and everything. He had a drop kick to Reigns, and so yeah, he was targeting the arm and the leg, and then he had kicks on Reigns. We had a tilt-a-whirl slam to Bryan. He had kicked out, and then Reigns he took out Bryan with an uppercut, and then Reigns he was talking trash to Edge outside the ring and all that stuff, and then Bryan he was fighting back with European uppercuts, and then Reigns he threw Bryan into the ring post, and then Reigns he had his corner his corner clotheslines to Bryan, and we had a corner drop kick to Reigns. And then Bryan, he tried to go for a top rope hurricane Rana, but Roman Reigns, he reversed it and turned it into the Boston Crab. When is the last time you ever seen Roman Reigns hit like a submission move besides the guillotine choke? And so yeah, so Bryan, he had rolled up Reigns, and then Reigns had kicked out. And then Bryan, he had a flying clothesline on Reigns. And so they were going back and forth for strikes. And then, yeah, we had Bryan, he had a diving knee on Reigns off the ring apron. And then we had a diving knee on Reigns' arm. And then we had a missile drop kick to Roman Reigns. He kicked out. And then Daniel Bryan hit his yes kicks to Roman Reigns. And then we had an uppercut to Bryan. And then, yeah, Daniel Bryan, he had a roundhouse kick to Roman Reigns. And then Reigns, he had kicked out. And then Bryan, he was stomping on Reigns' face. And then Reigns, he had locked in the yes lock to Roman Reigns. And then, yeah, he rose out. He tried to overpower it, but Daniel Bryan, he had locked it in again. And so, yeah, Reigns, he had overpowered it this time, and he started pounding on Bryan. And then we had a powerbomb to Bryan. He kicked out. And then Reigns tried to go for the spear. He missed. And then Bryan, he tried to go for his running knee. He missed. And he hit the referee. So Bryan, he hit the running knee. Reigns moved out of the way. And he ended up hitting the referee with the running knee. And so referee is knocked out. And so, yeah, the referee is knocked out. We had Reigns, he had a spear on Bryan. And then Edge, he had counted. Since he's the enforcer, he has authority in this match. And so Edge had won the ring. He had counted. Bryan had kicked out. And so Reigns, he was pounding on Bryan. And then Daniel Bryan, he had locked in a triangle choke. And so Reigns, he overpowered it. And then Daniel Bryan, he had took control and he locked in the yes lock. And then right after that, we had Jey Uso. He had came out, took out Daniel Bryan, took out Edge with super kicks. And then, yeah, and then he had grabbed the chair. He had grabbed the chair at one point, and he tried to hit Bryan with the chair, but Bryan ended up hitting a running knee on him. And so Bryan, he hit Uso with the chair. And then Bryan, he accidentally hit Edge with the chair. He hit Edge with the chair by accident. And so Reigns, he had saw it, hit a Superman punch on Bryan. And so, yeah, Reigns, he tried to go for the spear. And then Bryan, he had turned it into the yes lock. And so Reigns, he was in the yes lock for a while. And so, the referee is knocked out. Edge is knocked out. And so Reigns, he had tapped out. He had tapped out a little bit. He was tapping out like this. And so referee didn't see it. Edge didn't see it. And so out of nowhere, man, Edge, he had recovered and hit Daniel Bryan with the chair. He hit Daniel Bryan with the chair. And he hit Roman Reigns with the chair. And so Edge, he had an angry look on his face. And, he was yelling at, man, this is mine. This is mine. This is my moment. And so he walked away. And so we had a new referee that came out. And so Roman Reigns, he had recovered. And he crawled over to Daniel Bryan and covered Daniel Bryan for the 1, 2, 3. And that was it. Now, yeah, so that means it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Edge at WrestleMania in a one-on-one match. Not really. But, yeah, it was the best match on the show for me. What I didn't like about this match is the fact that Roman Reigns tapped out. He tapped out, but he didn't lose. But he tapped out. I didn't like that. Edge could have easily just came over there and he could have stayed in that lock a little longer, and Edge could have just hit him with a chair. But no, they had to tap him out. And then you had him on SmackDown. You had him, talk to Daniel Bryan. He was like, I would rather die. I would rather die in a ring than tap out to you. Like, dude, that meant nothing, man, because he just tapped out to Daniel Bryan. So I didn't like that, man. I didn't like that at all. And so, yeah, you knew going into this match it was going to be a screwy finish because, Daniel Bryan, he's not going to lose clean again after you lost clean at Elimination Chamber. So you ain't going to have him lose clean again. So that's why Edge was there. That's why Edge was there. And Uso was there. And so, yeah, Edge, I said he turned heel. I say he turned heel right after the match, man. Right after the Reigns, the Universal Championship match, I think he turned heel, man. He has to, man, because this babyface Edge is not working. It's not working, dude. He's just, to me, he's just better as a heel, man. Look at the name, dude. Rated R Superstar. That's heel. That is heel right there. And so, yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about it, man. Was Reigns tapping out, but it was a great match. Roman Reigns wins which is the right move. But yeah, man, that was it with that. Overall, okay show. Wasn't the best show. Wasn't all that good. Most of the matches I didn't care about. I only cared about the Reigns and Daniel Bryan match. The Rollins and Nakamura match was good. The Biggie and Apollo match could have been better. Or you know what? Get rid of the Biggie and Apollo match off of Fastlane. Put it on WrestleMania. Could have put Apollo Crews in a ring with somebody else. Yeah, it's a lot of things that they could have done on this show better. They could have done better on this show. But yeah, man, that was it with that. And so yeah, man, that was it with the WWE Fastlane pay-per-view review. And oh yeah, another thing, man. This news had broke when we was doing a live stream, man. This news had broke when we was doing a live stream on Rated R for Wrestling's YouTube channel. Now, Andrade Cien Almas, he was granted his release by WWE, and so yeah, he had brought it up. I was like, man, is that true? And so we was looking through our phones. And stuff. I was like, oh man, it is true. And so Andrade, he was released for the WWE. He was released from the WWE, and I was like, man, I was happy, man. He asked me how I felt about it. I was like, man, I'm happy. I'm happy that he got released from his contract because they wasn't doing nothing with him. If you're not doing anything with him, then let him go, man. Like they waste too much talent. They waste too much talent in WWE. And there's a lot of people that deserve an opportunity, man. Ricochet, Aleister Black, all these other guys. What about them? Where they at? It's like Andrade Cien Almas. He was buried, man. He was buried. He wasn't given an opportunity because his English wasn't all that good. And then he tried to work on his English. He tried to work on his English skills, but it wasn't all that good. Now the mistake that they made was breaking him away from Zelina Vega. That's the mistake that they made, was breaking him away from Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega created that character, the Andrade Cien Almas character. She created that. She made him better. She made him better, man. Because when he was in NXT, when he was by himself in NXT, when he made his debut and he was wearing the suspenders and all that stuff, he was a joke. He was a joke. But when Zelina Vega came along, man, when she came along, man, she made him better, man. The dude became NXT champion. He had great matches with Gargano and all these other guys that he was in the ring with, Aleister Black. Andrade, the reason why Andrade Cien Almas was the best was because of Zelina Vega. She was that mouthpiece for him. Oh yeah, and with Drew McIntyre. He had a great match with Drew McIntyre too. It's like, why break up something that was good? It's like everything that they done in NXT, when they go to the main roster always ruins it. Like, why they always do that? Why ruin something that works? And like, man, when they broke them up, I was like, man, that's a huge mistake. That's a terrible move. Because Andrade, he needed that mouthpiece. Because she done the talking for him. And so, because this dude could not speak English. His English was not that good, man. That's why Zelina Vega was there, to do the speaking for him. Because he couldn't speak. So yeah, man. Andrade Cien Almas is gone. Where did he go? I'm thinking AEW, man. Tony Khan, get Andrade Cien Almas in AEW. And while you at it, man, bring Zelina Vega too, man. Thea Trinidad, bring her too, so they can reunite in AEW. I don't know if it's gonna happen. It's just me dreaming, but I hope it does happen. Andrade shows up in AEW, and let him do his thing in AEW, man. You can send Andrade Cien Almas anywhere, man. You can send him anywhere, and he'll be a main event star. He'll be the best part on the show. And so yeah, man, that was it with that. And so yeah, but Andrade Cien Almas, he did have something he wanted to say. Right after his release, he had tweeted out, "I want to thank Triple H, Paul Heyman, and William Regal for all these years and the great support that they gave me all these years. Also to the fans who were always supporting me. A big hug to all the talent and workers who've always behaved kindly to me." And that's what Andrade Cien Almas had to say about it. Man, I wish him the best of luck, man. I wish him the best of luck. I'm happy that he got his release. Now when they announced it, I was like what? That's a joke, man. Like, there's no way they'll release somebody from their contract when they ask for it. Because you heard stories in the past, man, that people asked for their release and they got denied their release. And they add extra days to their contracts. But I was actually shocked, absolutely shocked when they released them. I was like, oh snap. And so, yeah, what Rated R for Wrestling, when he said what he thought, you know, with Charlotte, it probably has something to do with Charlotte, getting Andrade released, because she probably went to management's ear and said that, hey, you guys need to release Andrade Cien Almas because what y'all doing to him is not fair, it's not right. So just give him his release. You're not doing anything with him. And so yeah, that could be the main reason. Charlotte went into management ear and say, hey, you need to release him. You need to release, my fiance. You need to release him because what y'all doing to him is not right. Y'all not using him. Y'all not using him. So why y'all keeping him under contract? And so yeah, man. So yeah, that was it, man. That was it. Happy, really, really happy for Andrade Cien Almas. Wherever he goes, man, I would be there. I would support him, man. Cause he deserve a lot, man. He deserves better, man. And I'm glad he left that prison called WWE. And so yeah, man, that was it with that. And that was the news that broke while we was doing the live stream. And so yeah, and if you guys like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. And follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below. Tell me how you felt about this pay-per-view. And share this video, man. Share this video with every single person that you come across. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, support, subscribe to Rated R for Wrestling. His link is in the description. We done a live stream last night for Fastlane, and one day it'll be great. It'll be great to do it again, man. Another live stream with him one day. So subscribe to his channel. His link is in the description. And also follow Ella J on Twitter. Follow her on Twitter. And, subscribe to her podcast. Subscribe to her podcast that she does. The Twitter handle is going to be, the Twitter link is going to be in the description. And then under her bio is her links to her podcasts. And so make sure you click on her podcast and check her stuff out and subscribe to it. And so, yeah, man. And yeah, that's it, man. That's it. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday, man. See you guys for Tuesday for Impact Wrestling. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. Once again, man. Couldn't have done it without all of you, man. And so, yeah, man. This has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care. Stay safe. And that's that.